No, for
All right, folks. It's the guy with the
sure.
bow tie checking with you live for another Business with Benefits with my friend Nick Nelson to my right. We had a little tech challenge, but we're going to make it work. So, Nick, you are practicing social distancing, and hello, Team Replay. Can't forget Team Replay. Team Replay, you give a shout out. Team Live, give a shout out. Let us know where you are. So, how's the social distancing been for you these last couple of days?
It's been cool. I'm more of a face-to-face kind of person, and so
Mm-hmm.
the whole social distancing thing, although I understand it and I advocate for it, I ain't gonna lie, man. I just miss being out there in the field and
Yeah.
um, interface with people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And same for me. I mean, most of my business is face to face, educating people on benefits,
Yeah,
seeing them in person because it's just a complex topic. So we're in
yeah.
interesting times right now. We got all got to be distant more than we used to be. But for the people that have not seen you pop on their feed for Brandpreneur, Get Noticed, Brand Me, kind of give a little snippet of who you are and why they should listen to you.
Yeah, Nick Nelson, founder and CEO of Brandpreneur. Brandpreneur, we help remarkable people, products, and organizations get noticed and to enhance their professional reputation at scale, leveraging social media. So, the thing that I've learned is that you got a lot of people out here nowadays who are great at what they do, but
Mm-hmm.
they are clueless in terms of how to just promote themselves. The way in which we do it nowadays, which is more so the experience of you, my brother. Not
Mm-hmm.
everybody's going to get a chance to meet you in person. Matter of fact, I've only seen you in person one time, right?
Absolutely.
Um,
Yep.
it, it feels like we are connected because I engage with you online via social media, and we interact and we interface and comment and even joke in that capacity. So I
Right.
feel your energy, and that's the power of this medium. But I also get an understanding of who you are as a person. I know you can rap. You're an MC,
Yep.
right? You're a funny guy. Right, you have a good sense of humor, but your personality also comes out very genuine in terms of you really care about helping people,
Mm-hmm.
and um, that's what a brand is. A brand is being known for something and then making people feel a certain way. And my brother,
Mm-hmm.
you've done a great job of coming into your own to do that differently than any other insurance person that I've known, all the way down to the consistent bow tie.
It's my gift and my curse. Unfortunately, I got to wear it everywhere I go now because people will be like, "Where's the
Right,
bow
right,
tie?"
right, right. You see, I took this hat off, man, because it's like, okay, it's getting to be summertime, and I'll be damned if I'm wearing this wool hat passing out on people. So
Right.
it's time to.
Well, checking in with the comments real quick, we got Patricia Gatelin at Las Vegas, my old stomping grounds. I actually started my LinkedIn persona in Las Vegas. Dr. Kim McNair said, "Hey Nick, she'll
Uh,
be on the
uh,
show. I want to say tomorrow. It's all blending together for me right now."
okay,
Jeffrey Hill
how
said,
you doing?
"Hello."
Hmm.
Jeffrey is a great brand with remote check. It's something to help elderly people kind of stay at home and get the care they need at home. So definitely check them out.
Yeah,
So what we're talking about today is keeping your brand top of mind in distant times. And I appreciate the kudos you gave me because I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn trying to be different and to stand out, as you say, get noticed.
yeah,
Because I notice insurance is a boring topic. Nobody really posts about it on LinkedIn. So when you say keep your brand top of
yeah,
mind, kind of what does that mean to you so people can kind of get a conceptual view of what that means?
yeah. What it means is that because so many people are vying for our attention, um, we are easily forgettable, and
Mm-hmm.
um, well, being active online consistently does. It always keeps you top of mind. Even
Mm-hmm.
if I don't want anything at that particular point in time or don't, tends to happen is someone um, might go to someone and need your services. They might need insurance and benefits. And what happens here is if they gone through
Or chop.
like enough
But hold on, Nick, you're
and you're
chopping up a
kind
little bit.
of who you are, will serve you. Okay, no problem.
There you go.
Can
Now
you hear
you're
me
good.
now?
Keep going. Yep, perfect.
Okay. Yeah. So if people see you enough and they go through their own cycle, know, like, and trust with seeing your what happened to this is something, and as somebody comes to them benefits, they'll be like, you know what, I don't know the bow tie guy, because they might not even know your name, right? But
Right.
you
Yeah.
need to go um, you need to go check them out on LinkedIn and see what he's all about. And because as that and they check it out, they'll be like, okay, no, this person seems good. Next thing you know, you have that DM that comes through and says, hey, or that email saying, hey, I'd like to schedule a consultation with you. And that begins
Mm-hmm.
cycle and standpoint.
So where do you think brands usually get this wrong? Because I mean, I see brands put ads on, LinkedIn. They just put an ad, or they put, "This is what I do," like a little, graphic of these are the services I provide, and kind of leave it there. Where do you think brands mostly get their branding wrong on social media?
Brands get it wrong when um, do anything to show their personality. You
Okay.
often have many brands that come off stagnant, stale, almost too perfect even.
Hmm.
That I find to be curious. That person's in the moment than something that has been fully, polished and edited. Because we're at a point things to us
Mm.
imperfections. Understand and we want to in the scenes. We want to see made wrong where consideration too per
Like I'm getting like every other word right now. I don't know if it's move the laptop or or log out and log back in. Let's I caught most of you, so we want the imperfections, which I was talking with Bonnie about this, Bonnie Sussman, yesterday, about the fact that young people don't want to see like a polished ad. They want to see more of the, this is me in the streets doing something. This is, me, like a regular old video that's very unedited, no polish and everything like that. So I love what your series you're doing, always the behind the scenes, like this is our brand session, where you're showing the business owner kind of figure out their brand. Was that something you knew innately to do off the rip, or did that kind of just come as an aha moment later on?
I'm sorry, internet went out on me for just half a second. What was the question?
There we go. Now we got it. Perfect. So I know a lot of your videos use the branding session where you're showing the individual kind of figuring out their brand, what they do, what their call to action is. Was that something you just innately figured out on purpose, or was it
Yep.
an accident in the middle of a session?
No, everything I do is intentional. And so people like seeing the flaws. They like seeing the humanity in things because that gives them permission to say, okay, this is something that I can actually
Mm-hmm.
do. Because think about the way we are nowadays. Um, we people think that what you do, that you're an overnight success, or that I'm an overnight success, or we don't show the struggle, right? But
Yeah.
showing the humanity, showing the struggle, and showing the imperfection gives people who might be afraid to do a thing, it gives them permission to say, okay, you know what, if they can do it, surely I can also. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
I do show that. And the funny thing is, some people ask me like Nick, so how do you get permission from all of your various clients to show them, in this way? And the thing about it here is, first of all, anybody who comes to me, they already know if I go to Nick, he's going to put a camera in front of my face, and it's just, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
And thing here is, I will launch these videos. None of my clients have ever seen them. They'll just wake up one morning and they're the star of the show, right? and they're seeing it at the same time that everybody else is. And it's interesting, man, because you know, they enjoy it. They enjoy seeing the process, and other
Yeah.
people enjoy it as well because it's just a fun thing to kind of just see the evolution of,
Mm-hmm.
or an
Awesome.
app someone in terms of where they started and then where they ended up. Again, it gives somebody hope that okay, I can evolve and I can elevate very quickly as well. Because a lot of it, man, it just boils down to confidence, feeling that, and
Mm-hmm.
confidence and expecting something, right? Walking in expectation that you know what, a change is going to happen,
Mm-hmm.
something big is going to happen. I'm going to learn something about myself, and um, I've just been, and I don't take it lightly. I've just been blessed with a gift, bro, to be able to do this in a very short order and
Yeah.
pull out the best in people. And so, that's what I care about. And so that's why, when you ask me the initial question in terms of the social distancing stuff, technology is great. We can interface over Zoom all day, but there's
Mm-hmm.
something about the energy that happens from face to face that
Yep.
technologies just can't duplicate.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. No, I check in with the folks real quick. We had Misha Berry said, "Woo woo," giving you a shout out. Althea
What's
Jasper,
up, Misha? How you doing?
Team Live in San Diego. Hey, Althea, we had to work together on some stuff.
Hey,
Michelle Cheddar Willis, she said, "My boy, he's the best." Michelle's an awesome person. I
that's my
love
girl.
Michelle. And then
Man, Michelle
Jonathan,
is that's my ride or die. You gotta have a ride or die. Michelle's my ride or die.
it's the Greek connection here. We got Kappa Alpha Psi, Alpha Phi Alpha, and Alpha
And
Kappa
AK.
Alpha all together.
Hmm.
Jonathan Smith
Yep.
said, "I'd like to partner with the two of you for more outreach for different demographics who may need assistance in brand development." So, Jonathan Smith is a new fan of yours, and that brings an interesting
Okay.
question for me.
Appreciate it.
You said in the video in the past that why are you always, branding women or always branding Black people all the time, and it is Women's History Month. So, for the people that
Yep.
don't know, I know you brand men, but some people seem to only notice the women. But why do you think it
Yep.
is more women are stepping up to the plate for branding?
Well, if you look at it, women have two issues. First of all, um, especially my demographic. Number one, they're Black, and then they
Mm-hmm.
also are a woman, right? See, Black
Mm-hmm.
guys, we can in corporate America, and it's not easy. I'm not going to say that it is, but at least we're not dealing with the gender gap, right, or the gender
Right.
issue. But oftentimes, what we're seeing is that Black women are number one. Number two, they're starting more businesses, but they're failing at a faster rate as well. So
Mm-hmm.
although they're starting more businesses than men, Black guys, I mean, more than most of the population, race agnostic, period, but
Mm-hmm.
failing faster. And so there is a need there in terms of doing it. And then from my marketing background, and this is where I go back to over 20 years of marketing,
Mm-hmm.
cultural marketing. What I've learned is that the decision makers within a household tend to be African American women. Guys, we can't make a decision on anything, right? Um, but the women in the household tend to run the finances because again, guys, we ain't even trying to pull out. Not only do they run the finances, but they also have decision making power,
Mm-hmm.
and they are very decisive. If they like something and they want it, they'll go after it, and then they also tell other people.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, we will have a great experience and we'll just sit on it. We really won't
Yep.
tell anybody else, right? It'll be like, oh, good. Okay, appreciate it, bro, and that's it. And as a
Yeah.
marketer, I mean, seriously, I'm a dude. I know I do the same thing. But as a
Yeah.
marketer, um, what we depend on is word of mouth because word of mouth, becomes, something big as well. So it's very hyper intentional that
Mm-hmm.
you see more Black women than you see men. It's
Mm-hmm.
very intentional that you see more Black people than you do any other race because I'm tailored, designed, made, and built for Black. I
Yeah.
don't hide it. I don't I don't run away from it.
Yeah.
It's that experience of me that I've curated for people. and let me tell you who the person is, man. I learned this at the National Black MBA Association conference. All right. What
Okay.
happens here is what you have. During the daytime, you have the good afternoon. How are you? Yes, yes, we're doing business, right? Then at night, it's, blow the whistle. It's too short. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
Yep.
it's a whole, it's multifaceted, right? And so what I've learned is that if you curate an experience that has the business side, but then also the fun side of it as well,
Mhm.
because that's most of my clientele, right?
Yeah.
Then create a unique experience. And from my standpoint, you know, people appreciate, they pay for, and they value experiences, right?
Yep.
That's why you can go to Disney and can't wait to be able to take your kids to Disney
Mhm.
because it's an experience
Yep.
that you cherish. And so and the whole experience makes it less frightening as well, right?
Yeah.
And so, I've learned how to just understand the psyche of people
Mhm.
because it's almost more psychology than it is even, marketing. It's understanding who a
Mhm.
person is and then what you need to do to make them feel comfortable so that they can get the best out of themselves.
I like that. The experience is definitely key in today's world with all the money flowing everywhere. Experiences are more vital. And
It is.
Tamina Ward said, "Brother Nick is the man."
I
Donovan
appreciate
Smith with the post meridian said, "Nick is awesome."
it.
I gotta do. I love when he does that, so I gotta give him a shout out with
Right,
that too.
right. Hey man, that's his thing. That's his
That's the
thing.
branding.
And
Yeah,
he gonna
definitely.
hold it. He hold the camera all the way up so you see everything. You hear me? He got that attention going. That's my
Yep.
guy. I love it.
Robert Hazard said, "Yep, yep, another bow tie brother." Thank you, Robert, for jumping on here. And when you bring up experience, that makes me think when I met Courtney Herring and Shanae Murray,
Yeah.
they just talked about the experience working with you. They didn't say a thing about the headshot. They didn't say a thing about how good the photography was, the video. They said, "Man, that photo shoot was lit." That was the situation there. That was the conversation. It was nothing about
Right,
that.
right,
So for people
right.
that think it's just a headshot, I mean,
No,
how much
man.
more
It's
work?
an
Go
What'd you
ahead.
say?
No, so how much
No,
more
go
work? Because
ahead.
some people see it like you do a pop up and they're like, I'm gonna get a headshot from Nick and then keep it moving. Give them an
Yeah.
insight like how much more it is than that. Because I think people don't realize it's kind of like a therapy session is what I feel like it is. Because you'll meet brands that are
It is.
falling apart and you're helping them figure their way out. So kind of break down why that's so important now with everybody having to be online. How much more important is it just to get a headshot? Because some people will leave this and say, I'm gonna get a headshot right now. Kind of break down why it's more than that for them.
So a couple of things. First of all, it's more than just a headshot. See, transparently, and don't tell anybody, okay? I use the image thing to help people to 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 help people get excited, right? But the
Mm-hmm.
true excitement comes when a person really begins to understand themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of individuals, including myself for many years, you're great at a lot of different things, but you don't know what to bring forward in the world,
Mm-hmm.
especially for online. Nobody teaches you how to be social, bruh.
Yeah.
No one. You kind of figure it out. You see what other people are doing, and you either take a shot, but most people don't leverage their accounts to propel their business. Many of them
Mm-hmm.
are showing families or are showing what they're doing in the community or in their personal life. But I'm like, okay, all of that is great. Please do it. But understand you got to have some place where you are going to be leveraging to be known for a thing professionally because it becomes your competitive advantage, whether or not you're an entrepreneur or you are someone who works for a corporation.
Mm-hmm.
Many times when I work with my corporate clients, um, they are deathly afraid of social because
Mm-hmm.
they're connected to their boss and they're connected to their coworkers,
Mm-hmm.
and they are wondering what will people think,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
What will people think if they see me, doing this or if they see me online?
Mm-hmm.
And that that's unfortunate, and some of it is corporate culture, and corporate
Yeah.
culture is corporate culture, depending upon where you are.
Hmm.
But that's not everywhere, and um, there are opportunities for you to be what I call brand ambassadors for your organization, where you're leveraging your influence to propel your organization by talking about what they're doing,
Hmm.
but then also leverage the organization to be seen as an influencer yourself, because the
Hmm.
typical Atlanta question here is, so what do you do?
Yeah.
Right. And then after you ask that question, so what do you do? You judge and be like, oh, okay. Right. And oh, okay. That basically it means, either you add value or you don't. And we judge a lot of that based off of, what we do. But
Hmm.
image is very important, but transparently, image is just one small piece of it. But it's a
Hmm.
piece that brings people in for them to really begin to, it's a great starting point. It's a great starting
Hmm.
point to be like, you know what, man, maybe this is a thing, and maybe I should actually pay more attention to what I project in the world. And that's a
Hmm.
great starting point. A headshot not only is what you should have, because if you're a grown person out there right now and your headshot is from your camera phone, there's nothing wrong with it if that's what you can do. But if you're
Yeah.
making decent money, you can do better, number one. Number two, if you're gonna do it, make certain you have some decent lighting. Don't be in your car with the car strap on, right? Don't do that. You're grown,
Yep.
right? Right. Don't be at the gala ball with your head cropped right here just because you look cute that day. Now you
Yep.
want to make that your headshot. Don't do that. You grown, right?
Yep.
Right. You know,
Look, full
don't take
transparency.
that.
I did that. I did that before. I used I forgot what it was. I did a family gathering picture and used that for my profile for a
Family
long
gathering.
time.
You think you look cute that day. You say you look cute that day. You know what you do? Oh, that's
Yep.
what. That'll be my headshot.
Yep.
No, 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 no. Grown. You grown. You grown.
Yep.
You good and grown, right? Because people judge. Man, again, don't tell anybody, bro. People are petty.
Yeah.
Oh man, people are so petty. They will be like, that's part of the reason why I exist, bro. Because people don't like to tell people the truth, right?
Yeah.
They'll be like, what do you think about this? And you ask your friend, they'll be like, oh, I think it's real good. I think that's great. Man, people have come to me with stuff that their friends, their spouses have said is good. It's like, oh my God, it's terrible. Right. Right. But
Right.
I say it just like that. I mean, I don't sugarcoat it, because
Yeah.
people need to understand, right? Bad is bad,
Yeah.
and once you understand that it sucks, you can go up from there, right?
Right. Right.
We can, that's a
Mm.
starting point. I can work with that. But
No, I can
I'm just
appreciate
rambling.
that.
Where you going?
No, that's not right. I think it's reality because I mean I think we go through life. Social media is kind of predicated this that everything's good. You get likes, you get hearts, everything's great. So when they come to someone like you just being real, I think it's a breath of fresh air to kind of get like, oh, those pictures aren't that good. It's just my grandma likes all of them. My friends and family don't want to tell me I
They
got an
do.
ugly baby.
They do. And the thing about it, all it takes, and here's the funny thing, man. All it takes is one time. Sometimes I go out and I sneak on Facebook, what have you, and they'll would have posted a picture. They got all these yasses and fire signs and emojis and stuff. They 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 feel good about themselves, man. And it's like,
Mm.
okay, do this, and I should do this, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
my whole thing really is it's giving people, Gen Xers and above, primarily focusing on people of color, the being a solution and being almost a damn brand superhero, man. In terms
Mm-hmm.
of, we have excellence out here, man. So much
Yep.
of it that's just hidden because we're busy doing the work, right? We're busy, celebrating everybody else, but we don't celebrate ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, and the thing that I hate is that we give other people control of our image, our brand, etc. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you ask somebody, and this is why definition, you'll see in a lot of my videos, we spend a lot of time defining who you are,
Yeah.
because oftentimes we just don't have a clear one because we're just all over the place.
Yep.
And then we end up giving up, we take on the persona that other people give us,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Instead of really defining it. The thing that you will learn, anybody hearing my voice, that you will learn if you want to perfect social media is this. And I'm gonna just leave it here. When I come home, bruh, I don't
Mm-hmm.
have this hat on. I'm not doing like, you know what? Today's the day your brand. I ain't doing none of that stuff, man. I ain't doing none of that. I ain't doing none of that. If I did that, my wife would look at me like, boy, take out the trash. And what is your problem?
Right.
Right? Right. She would. I promise you she would. You know, but it becomes an alter ego.
Mm-hmm.
Alter ego for online that makes you memorable. Now, the thing that everybody, if you want to perfect this, is find out what your alter ego is for online. I'm not saying that it's different. What you see is what you get. I am
Yep.
that person, but you create almost like a character for online that allows you to, it gives you, it gives you focus in terms of this is, you know, what that avatar is for online. It
Mm-hmm.
gives you consistency so you don't seem schizophrenic. Like if you were to wear bow ties one day and then a regular tie one day and then a cardigan one day, be like, okay, what is this cat, Mr. Rogers? What are you doing here? You
Right.
know, is he a black? But you know, but there's consistency.
Yeah.
People like consistency. You know, it's just almost like when you are raising a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Babies like being on a schedule. It makes them happy,
Yeah.
right? You know, people like seeing consistency, and it allows them to really get an understanding. Ah, I get it. I understand who you are
Right.
and what you do, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
I think they can make a decision. Either I will continue to engage with you because you add value, or not. And
Yep.
not everybody's gonna like you, bro. And I've realized that not everybody. I'm a bit too much for some people. They be like, okay, he's a bit much, and that's fine. That's fine. That means I'm not for you, and just
Yeah.
roll on. That's fine. Just don't report me. You know, I ain't causing no harm. I just post a lot,
Right.
right?
But it's
That's
interesting
it.
you mentioned that with the alter ego. 'Cause I remember early in LinkedIn, I wrote an article about how to be a wrestler on market like a wrestler. I think wrestling does the best thing of
It's the
like getting
best
the alter
example,
ego
man.
because
Right,
they just
right,
do it.
right.
It's never them. I mean, Hulk Hogan wasn't that guy all the time, or Macho Man was not
He
that
was
guy. So
not.
I wrote an article, market like a wrestler. They had that personality, that brand that you always saw front and center. And that was my best article I wrote back in like 2014 on LinkedIn. So when you bring
You'll hear
that,
that. You'll hear that again. By the way, I'll give you credit, but you'll hear that again. I like that.
yeah, go for it. I am all about sharing information. Nothing I made up was on my own. But a couple quick comments from the online. We had Dr. Kim had some laughing emojis. So something you said made her laugh a lot. Misha said, my shots were done by Nick Nelson on July 18, 2019. Can't you see his work? He's the best. My experience was great. He hated my first logo. So you must have told her that logo
I told
sucks.
her it was trash, but that's fine. She came up with a good one. We worked together, and Misha, that's my girl. You got to
Perfect.
check her profile out.
And
She's helping 40.
yeah, absolutely. And Robert actually asked earlier, so does he have to dance at his photo session? So is dancing part of the Nick Nelson experience when you do a photo session?
Man, let me tell you something. Music is a part of my DNA. See, one thing about me is that with brands, you incorporate all the things that make you, right? Growing up, I played about 8 different instruments. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I sang, was in a hip hop group, opened up for Ice Cube one time. So hip hop,
Mm-hmm.
all of that is a part of who I am, just like rap is a part of who you are, And for music, I intersect music with everything that I do. Most of the videos you'll hear that I do, I have music in the background or what have you.
Yep.
But yes, they're dancing. Yeah, we have. There is a word that the people under our age say it's called lit. We make it lit.
Yep.
We make it lit. It's the evening time of the National Black MBA Conference. When we're doing our strategy session, it's the daytime. It's the home. How are you? Yes, home. Yes, yeah, all right. Right. But when it's time to light it up, and when it's time to go in front of that camera, oh my, we're
It's
blowing
on.
the whistle like Too Short. Yes,
Yep.
it's lit.
But that brings an interesting point to me again. Like you mentioned that fear, because I know when I first on LinkedIn for a long time, I put articles and I put text and all that, and then I don't know when I decided to start rapping on LinkedIn, but in that moment, I was like, man, who's gonna say something about this? But then I also thought, I don't care. I mean, the point is to be seen, and I'm in a very corporate kind of insurance is very corporate and stuffy, and what are your clients going to think of you doing that? But at the end of the day, I said, if all these other people are doing this stuff, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm not saying anything incorrect. So how do you get people that are like scared to show themselves on social media? What do you think is that one thing you do to help them get over that?
I give them permission.
Okay.
Many of us have never been given permission because no one teaches us how to do this, right? There was one post that I did when I was working with an oncologist, and I talked to her and I was like, okay, yes, you can be on social media, and she was like, really? I can do that. I can. Yes, you can. And I show examples of other people that are in her profession or in your profession that are doing just that. And then all of a sudden, once you have permission, well, you're like, forget it. I'm gonna do it.
Right.
Yeah. Right. You really don't say forget it. You say the other word, but
Right.
Yeah.
We're not trying to get reported.
Well, we're not trying to get reported, right? We're not trying to get reported. But once you say that other word in it, that's when you're ready to become a brand.
I agree with that.
That's kind of like the secret password. It's like you going in a frat meeting and they say, okay, give me the password, right? That's the password to become a brand. You got to say F it.
So maybe the Greeks have it easier because we already had to get the password and everything to get in the club. So maybe we got it easier.
Bruh. But that's a whole nother story, because we could talk about how joining an organization gets you prepared for life in general. But
yeah. I'm gonna do everybody comment if you're in a sorority or fraternity. Comment below. It'd be fun to see people I don't know in a sorority or fraternity comment. But Michelle said always dancing. She said always dancing. I think you did her headshots too, right? From Michelle Taylor Willis.
Man, we did more than headshots. We
video look.
We did the most. We did the most.
And Tamina said lit and professional.
Hey, you can actually be both at this. You have permission to be. And everybody from the sound of my voice, hear me. I give you permission to be lit and professional, right? But now here's the deal. You have to know when to be each. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't go to a corporate boardroom and being too lit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because I'm not responsible if you lose your job. You gotta use one word. It's called discernment.
Nick told me.
You gotta use discernment. But you have permission to be lit and professional. That's called personality for the day, right?
Yeah, I think that's important nowadays. And then Dr. Kim said music brings out the best in you, and Robert said he agrees. So I think we're in the content wars. I felt like when this first happened, when the quarantine hit, I think I was talking to Randy Cooper about this, that this is going to be the content wars, because if you look at live television now, everybody's in their house. Like they're watching AM Joy or these different shows and they're showing people videoing from their home. So it makes it just like this, pretty much the same thing. So for people that are kind of in LinkedIn jail, all they've done is posted articles and never actually made their own content. What do you think is a good starting block? Because I want to kind of help people get out the starting block for the content wars and be a part of this. I do feel like these next 2 weeks will do a lot. So what do you think is a foundational piece for those people that have never really consistently posted is the piece to start them out?
So it's building blocks. It's building blocks of confidence. So if you've started off just reposting articles, that's fine. Now repost an article and add your perspective on it, right? Don't just share the article, but add a comment or commentary. If you've done that and you've mastered that aspect, then why don't you post a picture? Look in your phone, find something where you might have been at a professional activity or what have you, or just something that makes you feel comfortable. But find comments are very important. So make
Yeah.
certain that you have something productive to say with it, right?
Hmm.
Don't just, I just look good, but okay, that's fine. You think you look good, but what are you saying, right?
Yep.
And so leverage that photo, then a comment. Once you master that, then step it up to video. All right.
Hmm.
There's two types of video. You can capture. Capturing is just taking your phone and whatever comes out of your mouth is what comes out of your mouth, right?
Right.
No edit needed. Then you have content. Content is you take the time to edit it. And that's, some of the stuff that we both do. Then you
Hmm.
have a hybrid between the two where you're capturing yourself, but you add like some graphics around it, in a Canva, or
Hmm.
something like that to to make it look more attractive, right?
Hmm.
Um, then once you've mastered that and you feel confident with it, and I always tell people, if you're starting with video, minute 30 is the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Don't try to go before too much, before then, because you'll find yourself rushing and not saying anything that makes sense.
Hmm.
Minute 30 is about the sweet spot.
Yep.
Once you've mastered that, then you want to dabble into live. And the power of live is that it allows you to interface and interact with people and in a different way.
Yeah.
And it's quite frankly what many of us are more accustomed to. When we talk to somebody, somebody talks back. But as opposed to talking back, you see their comments, or you can actually do what we're doing right now and go live with someone else.
Hmm.
That going live with someone else is one of the smartest period, because what it does, it in a very impactful way allows you to now be introduced to an audience that may have never experienced you before, and gives
Hmm.
them the opportunity to say, hey, do I like you? D
Yeah.
Nice, the hip hop artist, like literally is the case study for that. He started off
Hmm.
last week going live, DJing, started off with around 200 people. But throughout the course of the week, people just started hearing about this. It was called a quarantine party. He called it homeschool. But playing for about 9 hours straight, but just music that he would play in his own living room that he liked, right? He's not trying to impress anybody. It's just the music he likes.
Hmm.
And the next thing you know, and I was on the quarantine party this past Saturday evening. He reached up to about 140,000 live views. He had
Man.
everybody from Oprah to Michelle Obama to Mark Zuckerberg. And the thing about it is, it felt like you were in the room with them, the energy. And that's the
Hmm.
thing about going live, is that, you feel the energy and it gives you the opportunity to be introduced to people. Now, here are the metrics. He started off with around 200,000 followers. As of early this morning, when I checked, he's at about 1.4 million.
Jeez. In 1 week? Not even a week.
Not even a week. We're talking about a matter of days.
Hmm.
200,000 followers to 1.4. So what live does, it introduces you to different audiences who will then follow you. And as they
Hmm.
follow you, now they're following your journey. And then they make the determination. They've already made the determination that I like you. Now they're just following you. And then these are other people. I look at every person as a potential salesperson,
Hmm.
unintentional salesperson, right?
Hmm.
But all of a sudden you have another ambassador for your brand, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why, live, I think, is a new, and plus it also stays in the feed as well. So
Yeah.
you'll have this, and this team will get a chance to watch at their own pace. So that's the natural progression. But the key to everything is consistency,
Yeah.
right? And so that's why I tell people, find
Hmm.
something that you can do at your pace, that you do consistently, that you feel good about it, that meets your schedule. Because that above anything else is what's going to keep you relevant and top of mind.
And I think that's the hardest part. I mean, I followed you for a long time, and you were coming up on LinkedIn and getting your viewership up and everything. And it's hard when you first start doing that consistency, because people will see it like, why are you on LinkedIn all the time? Why are you wasting your time
Mm.
making those videos all the time? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? So for me, I know that's been a challenge up until recently. Now it's like, oh, I get it. But that overnight success part. So for the person that's trying to get into that portion, I mean, would you say it's once a day, once a week? Because for me, I think it's at this point, I think it's once a day with everything going on. But some people say once a week. So, what's your thoughts on that with whatever level you're at?
What it's whatever you can do, but be consistent. I don't care if it's
Okay.
once a week.
Perfect.
Start there, but be consistent. So that the people that if it is going to be once a week though, it has to be impactful.
Yeah.
Like Cher Jones, great example of that. She'll post, roughly about once a week, but she'll go live once a week. But
Yep.
it's an impactful thing, right?
Mhm.
And so if you are going to do it, make certain that you're not just being happenstance with it, but you are doing something that is going to be impactful, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not giving yourself a lot of opportunity to pop up in the feed. But if there is anyone who ever wants to change a narrative about themselves, I'm a case study, and I'm gonna leave with this. I'm a personal case study of how social media does that.
Okay.
For roughly almost 2 decades, I served as a marketing, executive. So I was the owner of a marketing company called Liquid Soul.
Hmm.
With that, was the chief marketing officer, founder, and when I decided to start Brandpreneur, I started off with the photography stuff, right?
Hmm.
And people would, whisper, "What's Nick doing? Why is he taking pictures of people? I don't know. What's that all about?"
Right.
Like literally, people thought I was having a midlife crisis, man. Like literally, it was like I just, I left my agency, started
Hmm.
this, and next thing you know, I'm going from because it was an entertainment marketing firm, so I'm on red carpets and in between
Yeah.
LA and New York and meeting celebrities. I left. I said none of that. I didn't care about any of it anymore. I just
Hmm.
I was over it, you know. I wanted to have more impact, and
Hmm.
so I said, well, you know what? Let me just start with people, and started there. And people were like, okay, I don't get it. I don't get it. And, I know some people, especially in my circle, I know they laughed at me like, okay, this dude is crazy.
They said something else,
Right.
but I know what you mean.
Right. but we don't want to get blocked. We don't want to get blocked.
Yeah,
But
don't get by.
it didn't make sense until it made sense.
Hmm.
Right. Now it's kind of like, okay, it's a thing.
Yeah, put me
But
on. Yeah.
it put me on. But it's consistency, right? It's consistency in you just not listening to other people, but you listening to your own intuition. Take advice of people, right?
Mm.
But you have to understand who to take advice from. But once you start a direction, be careful, be intentional, and then don't switch, right? That's the
Yeah.
problem so many of us have. We'll start one direction, we hear a little murmuring or feel like somebody is not, everybody's saying stuff, and then we'll switch.
Hmm.
I'm not saying don't take, constructive feedback, but if you understand that no one else will believe in you more than you,
Yeah.
right? Be your own cheerleader. Believe in
Mm.
yourself. Have confidence. Everything is not going to hit, right? I go back to D Nice. D Nice has been doing this thing since the 80s, right?
Mm.
Since the 80s, he's been DJing. But what did he do over the course of the years? He's built a network rapport, a lot of respect on the low until it wasn't on the low anymore.
Right.
200,000 followers to 1.4. The thing that he did was he saw a problem. People
Hmm.
were just stuck at home. But with that problem, he saw an opportunity as well. Well, I might as
Hmm.
well entertain them.
Yeah.
And then all of his network, all of his connections, everything culminated into one evening where he had Michelle Obama and Mark Zuckerberg and every other celebrity in the planet on a live with him. And that started the next phase of his career.
Yeah.
So you just got to be
Speaking of which,
persistent.
Tamina Ward said Michelle Obama joined in. She mentioned that too, the Michelle Obama jumping in.
Mhm.
Robert said, can we pre-record it before posting 1 minute and 30 seconds? So can we pre-record it before posting? I'll say yes, but I know you have comments for that too.
Pre-record before posting. What do you mean by that? You talking about like
I guess you're worried about does it just go right on the feed or do you edit it? So Robert, yes, you get time to edit it. It's never just live. You don't get a chance to edit it, so this is raw.
No, you don't edit in live, but I mean, it all depends. Some people like to do some light editing with it. I'm a content creator, so that's a part of my DNA. That's I enjoy it. I like because I'm a storyteller at heart, right?
Yeah.
And so I like to tell stories, and editing allows you to be able to manipulate the story how you need to in order to make it entertaining. Because at the end of the day, this is content, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the best content in the world educates, but it also entertains. And if you're able to do both, then you are really in a sweet spot. And that's where I think a lot of people mess up, is that they're either trying to be too entertaining, and it's like, okay, that was funny. I don't know what you do,
Right.
Okay, that's cool, right? Or they try to be too informative, and they come off as, what I mean? Flat. It's kind of like, okay, that was cool, right? But you can combine both, be entertaining and informative. You just might have a shot at getting noticed.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of getting noticed, Dr. Kim said, "Get Nick some water." I guess she keeps hearing you and I clearing our throat and say, "Get you some water."
Right. I promise you, Dr. Kim, I do not have the Rona. All right, just a sore throat.
Just a little tickle.
Been talking about a tickle.
And Robert said, "Testing before going live. I'm a perfectionist." Now, Robert, I'll give you some feedback on live the first time. If you just get 5 people to watch it, celebrate.
Right. Especially LinkedIn Live. Like I still haven't. I have it, but I just haven't done it yet because, I haven't taken the time to kind of, learn all of that. I might have to pop by your office and be like, "Hey, you give me a tutorial."
But the only reason I do it is because Shanae Murray. I had live before, like a month before she asked me to go on her live, and since she had me go on her live, I'm like, I got to share this with people because she had no reason to share that with me, to put me on her platform. So I just say, you know what, I got to open this up and share it with people. So the reason I'm on here so much is because of Shanae, just to pay it forward. And she good people, and she said you're good people, even though you had the Spanish mix up there for a little bit.
She said, "Oh."
I'm never gonna forget that story. Courtney laid it out perfectly, so I might tag
my
them
bad.
on.
Hey, my bad, Shanae.
she was fun with it though, but I'm gonna be respectful of your time. So right now, keeping your brand top of mind to the new series you have out. So kind of let people know about that series and what they can hope to expect from it and beyond that.
Yeah. So really it's a starter kit for people who have now found themselves in a situation where I really haven't been online before. And now I got to figure this out. And while I don't have anybody looking over my shoulders, while I have a little bit more time potentially on my hand, let me see what this is all about, right? And so I'm one where I feel in this season, you have a lot of people selling in this season, man. Everybody's selling that and the other thing because people are, trying to figure it out. But those who are going to win the most are those who give, right?
Yeah.
And so my thing was, all right, let me give some information, because I know you got a lot of people out there who are, number one, scared, because technology is scary if you've never done it before. It can be frightening, like literally frightening. So let me give some guidance there, and then kind of, give you a cookbook or a roadmap in terms of just, if you're going to do it like this, something that's explaining very quick, because people don't have time. Each module is about maybe 2 or 3 minutes at most, but you just get the heart of the matter in terms of, okay. And then, because I understand my audience is hyper intelligent, they can figure everything out in direction. Just tell me to go east. I'll find my way there. But just tell me, point me in the right direction. Right? That's all it is, bro. And so you can go to my LinkedIn profile. I have it up there in my post where you can just go directly to the series and check it out. Check it out.
Perfect. Super important, guys. So, I mean, in today's day and age, you're going to be at home more. You might as well be top of mind while you're in people's feed. So I'm going to let you get out of here, Nick. I appreciate the time. If you guys are not
Appreciate
following
it, my
Nick,
brother.
you need to. I've been following him for years, so I'm glad. We still only met in person one time, but I still feel like I know you. Thought you was a Kappa for a long time. That's how close we were.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
But
I am
thank you guys.
I am an alpha man. Let's be clear.
He's an alpha man, yes. My roommate was an alpha in college, so you're cool with me.
You're cool with me. I got plenty of Nuke friends. I give them hell, and I give you hell as well. So you're welcome.
All right, well, y'all be safe out there. Make sure you wash your hands, and we'll see you next time.
Wash your brand hands.
Wash your brand hands.
Keep your brand hands out your face.
I like that. You touch your mind. Yeah. Y'all be safe in there. We'll see you next time on Business with Benefits.
All right, my brother. Be good.